Men, if you really think you're a feminist, here's what to do when a woman says you're being sexist. Now that's the headline from an article earlier on this year that was published by The Independent, and it's written by one Kirsty Major, who is described as a left-wing commentator. It's from April, and the reason I mention that is because it's from April the 1st, but I don't think that this is an April Fool's joke, even though the article to me is quite a bunch of tomfoolery. Anyway, let's do that headline again. Men, if you really think you're a feminist, here's what to do. Well, my advice would be seek help, seek a therapist. When a woman says you're being sexist, she's usually just talking absolute shit, because women don't even know what sexism is, and particularly feminists don't, because this entire article doesn't mentions no sexism against men, because I'd be amazed if this Kirsty Major really knows what sexism is, but I don't know, maybe she's written other articles in her past attacking people who are sexist against men, i.e. feminists, but then she is one, so I pretty much doubt it. The subheading is, while sexism is theoretical to you, meaning men, no it isn't. It's a reality, it's a stark reality in the divorce courts. You can see it in television. I haven't watched TV now in God knows how many years, but when I left TV, precisely because of feminism, it was because of the man-bashing adverts, comedies with all their man-bashing stereotypes, the inversion of the genders in soap operas and dramas, where the male characters were given traditional female traits of behaviour, and vice versa, and that's why I just got completely sick and tired of it all. And she says, it is oh so very real to us. There's hardly any sexism against women left. Bull fucking shit. Although I'm delighted to be part of a renaissance of sexism against women. That's what it takes to bring them to their bloody senses and to make them realise that feminists are just full of it. Anyway, before I go off crazy here, so at least listen to what we have to say. The only reason I'm doing this, sweetheart, is because I'm making the video. Otherwise, it's straight to the bloke, not woke jail for you. Well, I am woke to feminists and how disgusting they are. So let's have a look at what she has to say. Oh, there's a photo at the top of the article to supplement the thing of a man holding his jacket open with a t-shirt on saying, "This is what a feminist looks like." And every time I see those shirts, I think, no, that is what a twat looks like. So she starts off, there's a conversation I've had with men more times than I care to recount. Well, maybe they feel the same way. Me, hey, that's a sexist thing to say. Man, me? I said something sexist? I'm not sexist. I'm a feminist. I think you're being sensitive. What I said had nothing to do with gender. Me, you've done it again. Sounds like a fucking kid's cartoon though, doesn't it? This debate is so stale, she says. Oh yeah, it is. But you're never going to shut up though, are you, woman? It makes me want to stuff bits of chewed up beer mats into my ears. Can I do it for you, please, sweetheart? No, I'm not a violent person. If I was, I'd get a whole load of this stuff and I'd shove it into her fucking mouth. I'm thinking of Sigourney Weaver from the film Alien. I don't know if you guys have seen that one, but the original part in the series, the original film where Sigourney Weaver's character pisses off the robot, so he rolls up a magazine, throws her all over the bloody place, and then tries cramming it down their fucking throat. Anyway, I'm going to skip down. Oh, actually, there's a sort of article within an article here, and this isn't attributed to the authoress of this article, but there's a little heading here with a bunch of actresses, photos of them, and they're whining about various things in Hollywood. And the title of this is "The Actresses Fighting Against Sexism in Hollywood." And I'll leave a link to this whole article in the comments section, and I'll pin it to the top. Well, I just mentioned Sigourney Weaver. I don't know what she got paid in the first Alien film, but I know in Aliens she got paid far more, and she got paid more than all the other actors there, and quite rightly, she was the star, and that's the way it works. But these paranoid bloody women, they don't understand this. These Hollywood women, they'll never stop complaining anyway. They as they get older, I don't care how unfair it seems, but they complain that they're being unjustly treated. The box office and the customer decides your value. And the customer consists of both men and women and, of course, children. And if you're not worth 20 million, then you're not going to get paid 20 million. And all of these female actresses, of course, they have agents, most of them of whom are male. And it is in their job to get the best offer, field offers to their clients, which they take a percentage if the client accepts the offer. And it's not in their interest to rip the woman off because they're stealing from themselves. There's no patriarchy in Hollywood. So fuck off, feminist actresses. Anyway, I'm skipping down quite a bit here. I'm not covering all this damn thing. If you're not prepared to listen, well, if I wasn't covering this now, no, I wouldn't listen to a fucking word you said. I'd just tell you to sod off. You aren't a feminist. No, I'm not, thank Christ. You're a woke misogynist. Well, that's an excellent way of describing me perfectly. That's right, I am woke and I become misogynist towards feminists because they make me fucking sick with their hypocrisy and stuff like this. If you do want to be a feminist, no, I fucking don't, and you find yourself in a conversation with a woman who says she feels that you have said something sexist, here's a few pointers on how to deal with it. I'm not dealing with her pointers, guys. Just tell feminists to fuck off. If they say you just said something sexist, just say fuck you, bitch. Skipping down again. I know you think you get feminism. Yeah, I do. It's like a religious cult for people who just don't get reality. But even feminist women mess up. Yeah, they mess up every time they open their mouths or write stuff like this, as you're doing, love. I say sexist stuff all of the time, she says. Yeah, I know, I'm reading it. Once in a Muay Thai boxing class, I said, I kick like a girl. A comment so cliche that I am actually ashamed of my own lack of imagination. Well, you should be ashamed of this article, which shows pretty much no imagination to me whatsoever, because it's a cliche in its own right, because this stuff is just regurgitated all the time. It's just variations on a theme, but then, I'm probably preaching to the converted, unless you're a male feminist, in which case you really do need to go over a whole load of MGTOW videos and men's rights activist videos. And I'm thinking of words of it. Male feminists make me more sick than female feminists. They make me want to fucking puke. The grovelling dogs. And they should be put in like some kind of a army boot camp sort of place where they're just, thrashed into bloody order and brought to heel. I'm getting all. I'm thinking of Full Metal Jacket and Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, I think his name was, and he says to Private Pyle, who's a real fuck up, he says, you better start shitting me Tiffany cufflinks or I'm definitely going to fuck you up. Sir, yes, sir. Choke yourself, you fucking male feminist. God, I'd love to choke a male feminist out in a bloody octagon. Anyway, I'm bumbling on here. Where the hell was I? I know the patriarchy has a nasty habit of lodging itself into your brain. No, there is no patriarchy that favours men. If you want to see a patriarchy in government systems, chambers, political chambers where you have a majority of males, number one, that's because there are far more men interested in politics than women. Hence, female supplements in newspapers are now they're putting male supplements in full of shit for the new modern bloody metrosexual male. But these guys, every single election, grovel to the media, which, as I keep saying, consists of two different kinds of creature. Man-hating women and the cowardly males who won't stand up to them. And they write all sorts of shit, washing women's brains. And women, they normally, throughout the cycle of Parliament, they have no interest whatsoever in politics until the election. You get election fever, and then it's all about how many female candidates the party's fielding, what are they going to do for women in this field, that field, the other field. It's all feminist fucking shit. The patriarchy doesn't do anything for men or boys. It shits all over men and boys because of feminism, the disease. So this is just paranoid rubbish. Skipping down again, I'm going to be brief now. Be thankful that the women around you don't think of you as a lost cause. They do. Thank fuck, because behind every woke man is an exhausted feminist you need to spank. Thank. Yeah, fucking spank's the right fucking word too. But no violence, like I said. You're no longer in denial, and you have successfully reached step 2. Alright, I'm fucking done with this. I'm going straight down to the comments section. There are over 200 comments on this thing. I'll just do 3 of them. The vast majority of the comments that I've read are opposed to this bloody article. So let's have a look at just 3 of them. I read this article for perspective, not unsolicited advice. You ignorant, unconscious, and over-intellectualized bigot. Now that's the opinion of the person who put this post down. Doesn't necessarily mean that I think it's fucking spot on. Barry Richards said, I find this article sexist. Paul Kavanagh says, well, thank God I'm not a feminist then. This way I have no obligation to tolerate having my words and actions micromanaged by a female supremacist. And skipping down through a good number of other comments, I've come to the final one I'll read out, and it comes from none other than Canada's finest, Karen Strawn. Karen is probably the only woman on this planet that I would genuinely consider getting into a relationship. She really is, but she's pretty much spoiled for choice. For those of you who don't know her, she's Edmonton-based, I think, men's rights activist, and she is absolutely brilliant, beating the shit out of feminists. And she says, I generally detest comments that begin with, as a woman, however, as a woman, I find this woman's attitude stunningly narcissistic. You go, girl. A man doesn't know what it's like to face sexism every single waking hour of his life. For crying out loud, she says. I think, knowing Karen, she feels like saying, for fuck's sakes. I don't know what that's like either. Why? Because I'm not interested in dissecting every single thing anyone says to me and applying the least charitable, read most sexist interpretation of it. And when you call a man out on whatever sexist nano-aggression you believe he's committed against you, and he explains to you his intentions, you don't get to say, I am the authority, not you, as to your intent. I am so sick of women like this claiming to speak on my behalf about what my life is like. Sexism is indeed everywhere, but here's the thing. It comes with both handicaps and perks. The very fact that this author has been given a platform in a respected newspaper is essentially lecture all men and tell them that a woman's word is a gospel they must unquestionably live by, is evidence of one of the perks of sexism enjoyed by women. Yeah, Karen's absolutely right, and the mainstream media throughout the entire Western world, newspapers, TV, daytime TV, you name it, is crawling with sexist, feminist, spewing out a non-stop torrent, in this case, of patronising bullshit, and at the worst, just downright insulting fucking crap. Anyway, thank you very much.